Welcome back, my name is Carrie, and today I've got the first prefab home price update of the year, and let me tell you, there's a lot going on. Over the last few weeks, I've been highlighting some of the manufactured, modular, and prefab homes currently available, and a recurring theme in the comments is a general displeasure with pricing. For instance, one viewer said, "Sigh, no way, no how, never in 100 years." In all capital letters. Message received. If you're in the market to buy, I understand the frustration because over the last 13 or 14 months, prices have shot up. So every time you come to terms with the last price increase and get ready to pull the trigger on a new home, prices have likely gone up again. The thing is, these issues aren't only in housing. Graham Stephan posted on his Instagram yesterday a term I heard for the very first time called shrinkflation. No, I'm not talking about my New Year's polar bear dip. He posted a link to an article talking about how Domino's has reduced the number in the $7.99 wing deal from 10 to 8. First of all, if you've got a locker like mine, 8 isn't enough. And second, I think this is going to be a theme we're going to see in a lot of other areas in 2022 because as a Domino's spokesperson put it, companies will continue to find the right cost balance for franchisees and customers in 2022 as we work through higher input costs. Nobody panic, this video isn't all doom and gloom for potential homebuyers because there are steps being taken and changes being made that will improve the situation, and there is one company I know about that hasn't raised prices at all. What I'm going to do is tell you how much prices are set to increase, what's being done about the situation for buyers, and where you can find a home that hasn't increased at all. So let's do it. To get the bad news out of the way first, last week I received an increase from the factory I buy manufactured homes from, and their prices are going up on every single series they offer. Not exactly the way anyone wanted to start 2022, but here we are. The reason given for the bump was continued steady increase in materials, and the amount prices will be going up is listed at 3 to 4%, which unfortunately will equate to thousands of dollars on most models. I'm not saying every offsite builder will be raising their prices the same amount at the exact same time, but I have noticed over the last year the price increases do seem to be fairly consistent industry-wide because they're building with more or less the same materials. The question I always ask myself whenever I get a price increase is why? Because don't forget, even though I'm not the final customer, I am still a customer and the price increases do sting. The reason given doesn't really tell me much. We continue to see a steady increase in materials. It's extremely vague, and in my opinion, as far as explanations go, that's what you call mailing it in, which leaves me no choice but to try and figure it out on my own. The most obvious reason I'm seeing is the demand for this type of home continues to go up. If we think back to how Domino's has reduced their deal from 10 to 8 wings for the same price of $7.99 because that's the price customers can afford to pay, I think buyers are making similar adjustments to their own budgets. For example, at the beginning of 2021, there was a pool of people who wanted to buy a manufactured modular or prefab home. As the year went on, those people either bought or remained in the pool, and the prices of homes at every price point increased. People who were in the market for a more expensive site-built home at the beginning of 2021 might have had to reevaluate how far their dollars stretch in 2022 because everything has changed. Now they've decided to jump in the pool with everyone who wants to buy a more affordable factory-built home even though their budget remains the same. Where we run into problems, and one of the issues I think causing offsite construction prices to jump again, is even though prices have increased significantly, factory-built homes are still one of the most affordable options. So everyone who was in the buying pool at the start of 2021 who hasn't bought yet, they're still in the pool, and more people are turning to offsite construction who have been priced out of other options, but until companies increase production, the pool remains the same size and is crowded. Just like there are currently more people trying to buy manufactured modular and prefab homes than the factories can supply, the factories are trying to buy more materials than the suppliers can source. So the price goes up to the factory, to me, and finally to the end user. The problem comes down to a simple shortage of supply from the beginning to the end. But the good news is changes are being made. It was announced this week that Plant Prefab officially broke ground on their new 270,000 square foot facility south of Bakersfield, California, that in a year's time will be open for business, building about 800 dwellings per year. That's just one example of many. Companies including Cavco, Champion, and others are expanding production all over North America, and that's exactly what we need. On top of that, this week alone, I've been contacted by a startup in LA, a builder in Nova Scotia, and an architect in Denver. All three want to get into the offsite construction space. Why? Because people are realizing the potential in the concept of building inside a factory and moving a finished product to the final destination to solve some of the problems we're facing in housing right now. I've never been more excited to be involved in the manufactured home industry because even though the last 13 months have presented new challenges and a bunch of price increases, the amount of people interested in this type of housing is mind-boggling. Increased interest leads to new companies, which leads to more interest, which leads to new companies, and round we go until eventually there are enough people building homes to satisfy the demand. The big question is, how long will it take to increase production industry-wide that we no longer have a shortage of supply? And unfortunately, I don't have that answer. All I can do is give you the latest information as I get it to keep you in the loop on what's happening between factory and dealer. If you're looking for a company that hasn't raised prices at all in the last 13 months, I only know of one. The one company I know of who hasn't raised prices at all since all this madness started is Boxabl. They've had the same $49,500 advertised on their website for as long as I can remember. Full disclosure, I have no idea how they've managed to keep their price the same in a world of price increases, but they're doing it. The only problem is getting a Boxabl casita right now is a lot easier said than done. Last I heard, there were over 10,000 people on their wait list, and they just started building homes out of their factory in Las Vegas. In a recent update, they stated right now they're building around 1 home per day, which means it'll be years before they work through even their current wait list. They just opened. As they iron out the kinks, production will speed up, and they do have plans for more factories, but again, the current problem comes down to supply, and there just isn't enough homes right now. Just 2 weeks into 2022, and I've already received my first price increase of the year. I really don't think prices are going to increase as much as they did last year because I feel like people are going to max out and just decide to wait. Judging by the comments I get on videos, I know at least one person has already decided to wait. For 100 years anyway. Companies are working hard to increase production and new builders are entering the space, so the supply shortage we're seeing right now isn't going to last forever. If you're in the market to buy this year, I will continue to pass on information that I'm getting, and hopefully it'll help you navigate what has been a very crazy market. You'll find that information right here on my YouTube channel. That's all I've got for today. If you like manufactured home videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I've got new ones coming out every single week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.